What if we're entering a different type of cultural age where the things that were prioritized in the past, optimization, efficiency, convenience, are no longer culturally relevant? It seems that COVID was this completely new experience that shocked us to our senses and gave us a new perspective on life. And what I think might be happening is rather than us striving for convenience, efficiency, squeezing the last dollar out of every opportunity possible, it may be that we're in a new era, an era where some other traits are prioritized. And this matters if you're a brand, it matters as you think about the meaning in your own life, and it matters as you think about markets. And what COVID really taught us was a few things. The first is that our institutions, they weren't prepared for an extended drawdown of downtime and drawdown of capital. And so we didn't really have very many reserves. Most businesses didn't have reserves available to navigate such a difficult situation. And that's why we needed the government to help us out by sending stimulus checks. The next thing we learned is we weren't that prepared for dealing with the pandemic. Most of our life was spent focused on the now, focused on convenience, focused on today's efficiency, today's pleasure. And because of that, we weren't prepared. We were fragile against this larger shock to the system. And the third thing that happened is we were isolated. We were separated. We had to spend more time on our own. And all of these things, I believe, change the landscape and change the dynamic of how we think about brands, how we think about businesses, and how we think about meaning in our lives. And so what I believe we're seeing is a shift from efficiency and optimization to instead resiliency, rest, and what my friend Maria likes to say, a more traditionally feminine way of viewing the world. And in this interesting transition that's happening to our culture, it may be that how we go about approaching our lives might start to change. And so while we had all this time alone at home, we decided to binge, right? We binged watch Netflix shows. We ordered DoorDash and got all these deliveries sent to our house. We maximized convenience. We maximized dopamine. And I find both in myself and with other people I talk to that even though we maxed out this pleasure-seeking opportunity, and of course there was a lot of tragedy as well, but in this pleasure-seeking opportunity, we realized that we still felt a little bit empty. And we also realized how ill-prepared we were to navigate such a difficult time. So it might be that we're entering this new era, this era where rest is important, where wellness is important, where optimizing the last efficiency and squeezing it out just for some type of profit isn't the only motive that we seek. And in fact, planning for the future, planning for sustainability, planning for the marathon that life really is a new opportunity that we're being called to examine in our lives. And so I think we're just starting to wake up from this fog, this transition that occurred where at first we were going on business as usual. Then COVID shook things up, isolated us. We went into this binge mode where we maxed out on dopamine and convenience, and we came out of it feeling like there's something missing here. There's something more robust that I want in my life. There's something more around the meaning of my life that I might be seeking. And so as individuals, as brands, as we think about markets, I think the opportunity is to begin to think in a new way, a way that is more communal in nature, a way that is looking more at sustainability. And of course, there's ESG and lots of green initiatives for climate change that are being put into motion right now. And for ourselves and our lives, are these conveniences, are these daily distractions that we spend our time in, are they really fulfilling us the way that we want to? And so I believe we're going to start seeking more of that connection and community and personal time, seeking more of that connection to the owner of a certain business or a product that we buy from, seeking to think more about the longer span of our lives instead of the urgent need and pull of the types of things that typically had pulled us away from seeking and walking the path that we really want to walk. So I just want to address this big shift that I think is happening. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be curious what you think. Are we in a new era? Did COVID shake us out of this efficiency, this productivity mindset, this optimization mindset that we see so much on YouTube and other channels, into a mindset that is more rest related, more sustainable, more communal, more personal? And I believe that's a big shift that is going to change our preferences. It's going to change the way we buy, and it's going to change the way that we look at our own lives and the meaning within it. If you have any questions or any thoughts, I'd be curious what you have to share. You can always leave a comment. You can like and subscribe, and we'll be back again very soon. Thanks.